My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Selachia, this is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Calling all Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I wanted to do this lesson beginning with, we're talking about knowledge and why it's important. First off, I want to say that I noticed if my phone is right here, it's actually 169 verses in the King James Bible that has the word knowledge. Has to be some importance to that. I just wanted to put that out there. But I sit back and I think sometimes that growing up, as youth, at a certain age, we start school. This is mandatory. School is mandatory for all children, and it's to the point that if you don't go, if for some reason the children are not going, then that causes problems, troubles that the parents just don't want to deal with in this society. And we go to school all the way to the 12th grade, and even after that, we're probably still going to school. We're probably working and going to school. And taking up a trade, trying to get a degree in a certain field in order to get a good, like I said, to get a good degree to get the job you want in whatever field of your desire. And we go to church on Sundays, of course, all through our lives. For the most part, we all go to church on Sundays. And even other days throughout the week, we're in church. Okay? And all of this time, we never get a chance to sit back, at least not often, do we ever get a chance to sit back and read the Bible for ourselves. Therefore, the only knowledge that we have is knowledge given to us by somebody else. We will not read the Bible for ourselves. And that's why I wanted to get into this lesson, and that's why I feel it's so important. So now I wanna jump to Proverbs and get a few scriptures out of there. Bear with me here. I'm actually new to this. So this is Proverbs 9, verses 8. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. I know somewhere in other scriptures it does say that fools hate knowledge, they despise it. But how can you learn? Where can you go without it? Right now the only knowledge that we have is the knowledge given to us through school and through church, we don't have knowledge for ourselves. We won't get on our knees and pray for knowledge. That's where a lot of us go wrong, including myself. You know, but once I've come into this truth, I've learned to actually research myself, read the Bible for myself, find out things for myself when I have questions. You know, I want to go to Proverbs chapter 2 now. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 3. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. It's telling us to seek after that knowledge. Seek after it as if it's silver. You know, seek after knowledge like you seek after money, like we seek after women, like we seek after men, like we seek after the things of this world. We should seek knowledge before any of this. It says, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find the knowledge of God, Yahweh. But we got to look for it. Seek and you shall find. Now I want to go into Psalms now. This is Psalms 119, verse 66. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments. We can pray. All we have to do is pray. This is a prayer here. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I have kept thy word. But we can't teach the word unless we know the word. We can't keep the word unless we know the word. We can't live the word unless we know the word. And the word is truth. So unless we know the word, we don't know truth. Therefore, we're not living in truth. Therefore, not living in righteousness. So it starts with seeking it. And it's just a simple act of getting on your knees and praying diligently to the Most High and asking. And I'm living proof that he'll definitely give it to you. Most definitely. Because he's not going to just turn his back on you. Not his people. Unless you turn your back on him. So I want to go into, if I get into Matthew now. This is Matthew chapter 15, verse 14. Let them alone. And this is Yahweh Shah speaking, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. So when we get this knowledge and we call ourselves teaching, and everybody does not want to hear it. Like I said, fools despise knowledge. They run from it. And they will argue with you all day. And you can't learn if you're constantly talking. Sorry, it just ain't gonna happen. But then, of course, the Bible speaks on false prophets. I'm sure we all know that. And a lot of them are just blind leaders because they're only preaching what they're taught as well. They are blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. This is why we should seek knowledge for ourselves. Ain't nothing wrong with if you want to go to church or if you want to get with a few brothers or just people gather together in the Lord's name. You know, he'll definitely be there. The scriptures say that. There's nothing wrong with that. But know that what's being taught and what's being learned is the truth. Because if not, you're a blind person being led by a blind person, and both of you will definitely fall into that ditch. You don't want that. You just don't want it. I don't. I believe the scriptures say a man who teaches his son angers the enemy, and that's the reason that we were always raised to learn the ways of this world, not the ways of the Most High. So we learn about stuff that we literally might not need. History. American history ain't doing nothing for me unless I plan on being a history teacher. And I don't. Never have. We learn science. The doctrine of the wicked. We don't need science. It's all in the scriptures. That's your science. That Holy Bible. That's your science. The word of the Most High God. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. That's your science. But no, we have to learn theirs instead. And without learning it, we can't get anywhere in life. You know, you can't get a good job. You can't do anything without learning the doctrine, wicked doctrines of the wicked people. Esau. That's why we should seek knowledge for ourselves. We got to find time and we got to give the Lord our time and we got to pray. We got to get on our knees. We need to pray and ask the Lord. Like I said, pray like he said actually. Seek and ye shall find. If I move on to Acts, I'm going to try to make this video short. Like I said, I'm pretty much new to this, so it definitely will be short. But I want to go to Acts right quick before I cut this out. And get a few precepts out of there. Let's go to Acts chapter 13. Verses 45 through 46. But when the Jews saw the multitudes, they were filled with envy, and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming. Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said it was necessary that the word of God should first have been spoken to you. But seeing ye put it from you, and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles. For so hath the Lord commanded us, saying, I have set thee to be a light of the Gentiles, that thou shouldest be for salvation unto the ends of the earth. Now the Gentiles were Israelites that were not raised as Israelites. They were not raised to believe they weren't raised in the same heritage and knowing the same God, so to speak, as the Israelites were, the children of the Lord. But these people were. And they still did not want to hear what was being taught. And just to show you the consequences to that, the Lord was mad. He commanded them. He commanded Paul and Barnabas to go to the Gentiles. He said, leave them alone. Leave them alone. You know, obviously, they've judged themselves unworthy of everlasting life. So we don't need to preach to them. We'll go preach to somebody that want to hear it. So it's up to you. You have 2 ears. It was given to you by the Most High. You can choose to listen. You can choose to hear the word and accept the word and live the word, or you can choose otherwise. But you turn your back on the Lord, he will definitely turn his back on you. I want to go now, if I can, to the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel, chapter 2. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3 here. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. I mean, the scriptures say the Lord despises the proud. We don't speak proud. You know, and understand that any knowledge that you do have, and anything that you do have, as a matter of fact, it came from the Most High. It ain't yours. The Lord giveth and he taketh away. That includes knowledge. That don't just include money. Does not just include your car. Not just your house. Not just your job. That's everything. Knowledge, faith, endurance, strength. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Verse 4, the bows of the mighty men are broken and they are stumbled. And they that stumbled, Salakia, are girded with strength. Like I said, that's where your strength comes from, the Most High. You can think you high and mighty, but the Lord can break you in any second. The Lord can break you in any second. So, I mean, I'm hoping this is edifying people. We're living in some times here where pretty soon, all you're going to have to depend on is the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. It's time to put on that armor. Put on the full armor of the Lord and be prepared. Because you're not going to be able to run to anybody else. You're going to have to get on your knees and pray to the Most High and hope that he hears your prayer and chooses to answer it. That's all within you. That's all within you. I want to go back to this one scripture that I began with, because I do want to reiterate this point. I feel it's very, very important. This is Hosea, again, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. If I stop right there, I can say I'm 38 years old. I'm 38 years old. Why would one like myself, as much as I've learned in school, I was a straight A student. Much as I've learned in school, as many churches as I've been through, as many churches as I've been to. Why would I be destroyed for lack of knowledge? And it's not saying that if you go to church, you got all the knowledge. Trust me, but trust and believe. The Lord knew what was going to be going on in this day and time before all of this was written. He knew a lot of people was going to be going to church and all of that, but he also said there will be many false prophets. Now, if you let that marinate in your head just for a second, just think about it. Ask yourself, who are the many? And who are the few? Just think on it for a second. What are the many doing right now to this day? And what are the few doing? What's happening to the many right now compared to what's happening to the few? Once again, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, Salakia, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of God. I will also forget thy children. We choose to simply stop learning, or we choose, because we're carnal, the people that we want to learn from, and we choose them according to the way they dress, the kind of car they drive, the hairstyle, where is their church building located. It's just not smart thinking. And I know myself, I've been in this truth for, I'll say, a good year now, since I've came around and started seeing things differently, and learning the things that I've learned. I still question and ask myself, why did I not know this as many times as I went to church? All the things that I've learned in just 1 year, I have not learned in 38 years of going to church. It's always more to learn. That's the point. There's always more to learn. You just have to be willing to learn it. You can't dismiss everybody that comes your way because it's not an ordained preacher with a government certificate to be a preacher, or because he doesn't have a 501c3. If anything, those are probably the ones that you just shouldn't listen to. Honestly, that's my opinion. Hey, you guys, everybody feel free to do what they want to do, you have free will, I guess. But just me sitting here trying to teach the word and trying, I guess, to give sound advice, this would be the advice that I give you. Get in that Bible yourself. Read it. Get some understanding. Seek knowledge elsewhere from the same places that the rest of the world is seeking it. Because many are called, but only few are chosen. So once again, who are the many? What are they doing right now? How do they look right now? Only few are chosen. So once again, what are the few? What are they doing right now? How do they look right now? How are they speaking right now? Many are called, only few are chosen. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of God, the Most High. We forget his laws, he can happily forget about you. He can happily reject you if you reject him. And I will also forget thy children. Look, people, it's not hard. It really ain't hard. The only thing that makes it hard is the fact that you don't want to let go of your carnality. And you don't want to let go of society. And you don't want to let go of the world. That's the only thing that can make it so hard to get on your knees and pray for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The fact that you are afraid to learn the truth and learn what comes with the truth. You're afraid of change. That's the only thing that makes it hard. But one who truly wants salvation, I would think it wouldn't be hard at all. So I'm going to end it right there. Give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, once again, who taught me this truth and who rule well. Peace and salutations, and my prayers go out to the hopeful elect. Shalom.